after having the Rubies Supreme costume, Darth Vader costume, for about two and a half years, and used it several times, I wanted to share with you guys how it has held up and some of the changes that I made in it. So the first thing I want to go over is something that actually doesn't come with the costume. It does not come with any kind of shoes. You have to go out and buy your boots. There's lots of places out there that reference what kind of boots that you should buy. I started out with some low top boots, and I'll explain later why I did that. But these right here, these are shoe inserts. These raise your height about 2.5 inches. I'm only 6'1", and that's a lot of the questions I get is about the height, how tall I am, and you look short and all that good stuff. So this is a more recent thing, and these are the boots that I use. They're a little bit big on me, and I did it on purpose. Once you put the shoe insert in them, and it's got a big heel. So when I put this on, plus the helmet, I'm about 6'6" in the suit, which gets me to closer to what Vader is supposed to be. As far as the boots go, I think they're Soviet boots, or I'll put something in the description below talking about what boots that everybody says you're supposed to wear. But these were ones that I picked out and I like. They're comfortable. I get them on so they're tight. Working our way up. These are the Shin Guards, the Shin Armor, whatever you want to call it. Now, these are flexible plastic. They've held up really well. They are scuffed up, which doesn't bother me because, I mean, it's Vader. He's going to be a little scuffed up. Obviously, you want your helmet nice and shiny, but what has surprised me is where it connects to the plastic, this back piece, and the actual zipper that zips up in the back. These have held up pretty darn well. And I think part of that is to do with, I used to use the low top boots that would come just to maybe here. And with the new boots that I got, the newer boots I got, it's a tighter fit. So it's harder to zip up, and I can see the tension starting to get on the zipper itself. So I'm looking to maybe replace the zipper soon on these. Not because they're broken yet, but just because I think it's going to happen. Working our way up to the codpiece. This has scuffs in it. It's marred up pretty good. It's like a foam, and all in all, for as much as I've used this, it's held up very nice. Now, one thing I didn't like on this is on the back. It actually has this strip. I went over this before in a different video. It has this strip that laces through, and it's supposed to go under your crotch. And I don't use it. I never have. I just taped it up, and I just used the clips. And again, I haven't replaced these clips. They've held up. Again, I'm surprised. I assumed that I was going to have to replace these clips. They're just the little tab clips that go in. Now, I've made it so it can't slide. I've put tape over it, and I've actually used heavy-duty staples and stapled to where it fits me. And then I could just throw it on with no adjustments or anything. But again, I'm extremely surprised on how well these clips have held up. They're not broken, they're not cracked, they're not anything. And I wear this thing quite a bit. I would say I wear it at least 2 or 3 times a month. And over 2.5 years, it's held up. The belt. Again, it's scuffed up a little bit. It is just a leather piece in the middle, and then it's got these nylon straps on it. And again, I took and I stapled and I taped where it fits on me, and it's got the same clips. And I've made it so it fits me, and I haven't moved it. Now on the back side, you can see there's a little glue spot right here. And this used to have a little piece of Velcro on it, and this matched up on the Codpiece, and you stuck it on there and it wasn't supposed to move. That piece of Velcro has fallen off, but I wear the belt tight enough to where it doesn't move anyways, and I'm pretty good at grabbing it all the time and adjusting it. The LEDs that are in it, they still work. These ones don't blink or anything, but it's nice to have that extra feature on here. So all in all, this has held up very good too. Let's talk about the gloves. These are the original gloves that came with it. I've worn these, I've worn some other ones too. I don't like these, they're a little short. I like the longer ones. These get hot, the whole suit gets hot, but these start to sweat and they start smelling really bad. And you can flip them inside out, you can wipe them down. I've made it a habit of actually spraying deodorant into the gloves and the actual suit every single time that I use it. Another thing that I use is inside the suit is I wear underclothes where none of my body is in direct connection with the suit. And yes, it's still getting sweat on it, but it doesn't stick to your body and stuff. So the gloves are cheap. They come with the Rubies. The finger stitchings are a little loose. I don't really care for the way it fits either, so I would suggest getting a different set of gloves. So these are the undergarments that I wear. They're a spandex material, and I actually wear these under all the cosplays that I do. And yes, they get soaked, and yes, some of your sweat still gets to the suit, but your skin doesn't stick to the inside of the suit. Same thing with the pants. Alright, so let's talk about the suit, the main suit that you have on. This is basically a leather onesie. It's not two pieces, it's one. So the size in this is critical. For me, the size is a little bit too tight from shoulder to crotch. You know, there's a couple things you can do. Now, being that it's that tight, I haven't seen any signs of wear in the actual suit as far as the stitching in the crotch area or anything else. They did a good job of sewing that up. I have seen some other spots of the stitching coming out. I don't know if you can see this very well. Right here, you can see that where the little stitches are that make the pattern, one of them's busted loose here. Again, the inside of it is a cotton material, and so you're wearing a fake leather over top of a cotton material. Now, I'm in South Georgia, and it's hot, it's humid. This thing gets crazy hot. The box. So this box works a lot different from a lot of the other ones that you see. The LEDs still work, nothing wrong there. But a lot of the cosplays that I see with Vader, this is, and even in the movies you can tell, this is a piece that goes over it goes over your neck or your shoulders, around your neck, and then it has two straps that go around the sides. This does not. This actually goes through the suit itself. So there's holes in the suit and it goes through the suit. Now, it does do that same thing on the inside, so it goes over your shoulders and then it goes around your waist, and that's what holds it in place. The holes where it goes through the suit are showing some wear. They've ripped slightly in there. I would say no more than 1/4 of an inch, pretty much on all of them, and that's just because of how tight that I actually wear it on there. On the back, so this comes with a zipper on the back, and the original zipper, again, this suit is tight on me. The original zipper that comes on the back wasn't really made of much, and I did end up actually breaking, not the zipper tracks, I don't know what they're called, not the zipper tracks, but the actual zipper, the piece, it broke apart. So I just went and got me a heavy duty zipper kit, which came with both sides and the actual heavy duty zipper from Hobby Lobby. And I'm not a seamstress, so I did my best, and I got some heavy duty staples. Nobody's gonna see the back side of this anyways, so I heavy duty stapled it all the way up. I did this maybe a year ago, and I've had zero problem with it whatsoever, with the staples coming out or anything else. This has worked great. Another thing you noticed on here is I put a lanyard on here. I put this lanyard on here because I want to be able to put the thing on by myself and take it off by myself. If you don't have the lanyard on there, it's just a zipper, and you can't zip it all the way up. So lanyard, zip it up, let it hang down. You can't see anything in the back anyways. When I want to take it off, I can reach around back of me and take it off. This has saved me from having somebody to actually have to be there with me when I put the suit on. The shoulder pads, or the shoulder armor, or whatever they call it. I'm going to call them shoulder pads because they look like shoulder pads. This is, once again, this is cheap plastic. It's not very thick. It's held up pretty good. There's a couple scuff marks on it in the front. You can see there's a couple dings here and there. Once again, this doesn't bother me because it's Vader. He's been in battles and all that good stuff, and he doesn't have to be perfect. I actually like that it has a little bit of wear to it. To me, it looks more authentic. Biggest problems I had with the shoulder pads. Number one, I've never liked that this is the chain that's supposed to be holding the outside cape up. It's this little tiny chain. It looks stupid. Vader's chain was a lot bigger, and it actually held the cape up. The cape on this is not being held up by this chain. The cape is being held by these little tiny these little metal clips that go into the armor, and there's these little clips that clip onto them. Now, this cape is pretty big, and it has some weight to it. I've already had to re-sew this clip back on because of the weight. People step on it once in a while. The cape is actually about a perfect length for me, but I've already had to re-sew that back on. And the clips have come out. The clips on the back, they just come out and they spread out, and and there's a loop on the other side. So those clips get bent in, they just fall out. So I've had to go back in, rebend these in, and actually put some tape over the inside of it to try to help it keep it from pulling back out. All in all, the bells, there is some foam on the outside of the bell, or the inside of the bells right here where it rubs on you, because it's being held on by screws, and this foam is pretty much worn out. Other than that, the cape has been great. The cape is a little bit thin. Not that I need any more weight on me, or that I need it to be, but sometimes you can see it's transparent even through both capes when there's light behind me, so that kind of bothers me. Now we get to what people see as most likely the most important part about a Vader costume. This is not the helmet that comes with the Rubies kit, the Rubies costume. This is the Black Series, and the original one that come with it, it's hard to see out of. It's not very comfortable. to me, it's, I don't know, it's odd, and it seems a little bit too big. This, to me, is about perfect as far as the fit, the visibility, the look of it. I like the look a little bit better. It's obviously it's smaller. The one that comes with the kit, the costume. It does come in 2 pieces, but the top part, this is just magnets, and you line the magnets up, and it's pretty easy. You put them, you can find your way on. With the other one, it's actually Velcro on top, and sometimes it's difficult to put the top on and really push down on it and get it lined up straight. You almost have to have somebody else do it with you. So the biggest thing about the Black Series helmet for me is the visibility. The visibility in this is 20 times better. The biggest problem I have with it is the lenses fogging up. You get the lenses fogged up, and but there's ways to get around that. Toothpaste and Rain-X, there's a couple different things. So I would recommend the Black Series helmet for the price. It's a better helmet, especially if you're going to be walking around or anything like that. For the lightsaber, I've used the Black Series lightsaber for probably the last year and a half, 2 years. This has been great. I love the sounds it makes. It's decently bright. It's realistic. I like the weight of it. It looks fantastic. It's been a good lightsaber. But for anybody who has followed the channel, I recently went to Galaxy's Edge and purchased the Vader Legacy series, and this is what I'm going to now. This feels great. It looks great. The weight's great. You can take the blade out, obviously, or put a blade in this case, and you can still use it. If I didn't want to walk around without the blade in, I can hook this on my belt. It has a little bit better detail when it comes to, it's got the wires, a little bit of a comparison. They're about the same size. I'll get my hands out of the way so you can see. They're about the same size. They both turn on the same way. There's a couple differences with this is all black right here, and this actually has a little bit of chrome on it. The grips on the bottom of it, you can tell the grips on this one go all the way, on the Legacy series, they go all the way up to where the switch is. These ones stop about half an inch before it gets to it. This also has, one thing I thought was a little weird is they put these screws, you can see the screws that are on the little grips at the bottom, where the Black Series doesn't have those, and I think that it looks cleaner. It's got a little bit better look. As far as the batteries and stuff, it's almost the exact same operating. Pretty much, this was an upgrade. These were, I think I paid about the same for this as what I did originally for this. I've had this for, like I said, a year and a half, 2 years. So they were about the same price, and for me, this is 10 times better. There's only one thing I don't like about this, and let me put the blade in, we'll talk about the sounds. Goes in, it twists, and it's ready to go. So when you turn this on, it's got the normal noise, and it makes the swinging noise every now and then. Compared to the Black Series, this doesn't make the swinging noise. You actually have to swing it for it to make the swinging noise. I like the fact that this makes the swinging noise if you swing it. This one just, the Legacy series makes the swinging noise just randomly. I'm not going to be able to do it with the lights on, but I will do a comparison and show you guys the difference in the brightnesses. Now, this one, the Legacy series, has the LEDs in the blade, and if you look, you can actually see the LEDs in the blade, where the Black series seems to mask. I don't know if the difference is inside of them for as far as the if it might be the same thing. I don't know. Somebody tell me. But you can definitely see the bulbs in there as it goes up. One last thing about the Legacy series, and I've heard it, so I can't unhear it, and that's the noise that it makes when the blade retracts or the saber retracts. So I heard that, and it made me think of one thing, and that's this.
I think we can make up some of these losses in the third quarter. What was that?
What was what?
Oh, nothing. I thought I smelled a fart, but now I don't.
So that is my 2.5 year review on the Rubies Darth Vader Supreme costume. Obviously, I've changed a lot of things. There's going to be things that you're going to want to change if you get the costume to make it tailored to you and your body type and what you are doing with it and all that good stuff. So I hope this helps some people on making decisions if they're going to buy it, or maybe some of the things they can change to make their costume a little bit better. With Retro Reboot, I'm Dan. See ya.